versus iPod video.
Yeah.
Tablet in the world, the fourth generation just extends that lead. And it's all about helping customers to learn about this great new technology and find new ways to use it that they never dreamed of. So what else can we do to help customers find even more uses for iPad, to use it in places they never imagined, in manners they never have before?
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
And people are taking pictures with their iPad in the crowd. It's a real thing, guys. I hate it. There's one.
I think we can tell by your excitement you know what this is. This is iPad Mini.
It is iPad Mini.
And what can you do with an iPad Mini that you can't already do with the amazing fourth generation iPad? Well, this. You can hold it in one hand. Now, this just isn't a shrunken down iPad. It's an entirely new design with a beautiful aluminum and glass enclosure where every detail is finely crafted and made, just exquisite. And the process by which they're manufactured are at a level of tolerances unseen in our industry. There is nothing as amazing as this. This incredibly thin and beautiful iPad Mini. Beautiful from every angle, incredibly thin and light. Would you like to see one in person?
The leaks were right on the money with the form factor on this. I mean, they were exactly what we're seeing. So
even some of the videos that purportedly showed in the wild, like that was it.
Look how thin that is. Amazing. Here, let me tell you a lot more about it. So this iPad Mini is just 7.2 millimeters thin. That's about a quarter thinner than the fourth generation iPad. To put it in context, it's as thin as a pencil. That's thin. It weighs just 0.68 pounds. That's over 50% lighter than the previous iPad, fourth generation. So in context, what can you compare that to? It's as light as a pad of paper. We were going to say a book, but books are much heavier. So we came out with a pad of paper. It comes in black and white, the white with silver, the black with a slate back. It's beautiful on both sides. But I think one of the biggest questions people wonder is, what screen size did we pick and why? And the team worked really hard thinking about this.
Yes, it looks
We
bigger
want an
than 7
iPad
inches to me.
that's capable of running all that amazing software written for iPad without developers having to do any work. We wanted it to be smaller such that it could be thinner and lighter, as you can see, but not so small that it stops being incredibly usable, because the iPad is the most usable of all these devices. So let's look at it side by side. Here's current iPad 2 next to the iPad Mini. The iPad 2 is 9.7 inches on the diagonal, iPad Mini 7.9. So that's easy to remember, right? 9.7, 7.9. And the pixels are even easier to remember because they're exactly the same. The original iPad, the iPad 2 are 1024 by 768. And the new iPad Mini is 1024 by 768. That means all of the software created for iPad all works on the iPad Mini, unchanged. And it's great to use in both the portrait and landscape position, which our customers love to use it in both manners. So it's great for reading your email and responding to your email and surfing the web. It's great for managing all your photos and sharing them with friends and family. It's fantastic for kicking back and reading a magazine or a book on. It is amazing to sit there and hold it and do a FaceTime HD phone call on something so thin and light. It's great for all of your iWork applications, Keynote, Pages, Numbers. It's fantastic for all the iLife applications, iPhoto, iMovie, GarageBand. I mean, it is so much fun to sit there and play multi-touch software instruments in GarageBand on this thin and light iPad. And all of those applications work wonderfully on it. So if you're a customer who likes to use Facebook all day long, you're going to love using Facebook on the new iPad. If you love creating content with applications like Paper, an amazing drawing application, you're going to love doing that on iPad mini. If you love playing games, playing incredibly amazing games like Real Racing 2 are incredible on the new iPad. In fact, I could sit here and do 275,000 examples for you, and I would love to, but we don't have enough time.
Please don't.
They work amazing on iPad mini.
It's surprising that
no one else can say that with their tablets. In fact, others have tried to make tablets small on the iPad, and they've failed miserably. These are not great experiences. Well, why? Let me give you an example. So here we have iPad mini on the right and an Android tablet on the left. This is the latest, greatest, most favored reviewed new device.
Today.
Well, first, let's just look at the bezels around the display. Ours, the iPad mini, is made of aluminum, and we've worked hard to make it thin so it's comfortable to hold and use with one hand. Theirs is made of plastic. It's thicker. In fact, the entire product, that Android product, is thicker and heavier than iPad mini, even though it has a smaller display. So let's look at those displays. On the diagonal, theirs is 7 inches. The iPad mini is 7.9. That doesn't sound like a lot more, does it? Well, that's on the diagonal. The actual area of the display, 21.9 square inches for the Android tablet, 29.6 for the iPad mini. The iPad mini is actually over a third larger display area, 35%. That's a huge difference. And it doesn't stop there. What's the number one thing people do on their iPads? Surf the web. We love to surf the web on our iPads. So here's surfing the web. This is a popular museum, the Guggenheim Museum, and visiting it in both browsers. But you can see there's things around the browser. There's tabs. Android has some software controls on the bottom of the display. So let's remove all that noise and just look at the web pages. You can see a huge difference. The iPad mini is about 50% larger for surfing the web, holding your portrait orientation. That is a gigantic difference. Yet the iPad mini is thinner and lighter. As I said, many customers also like to use it in the landscape orientation. So let's turn them sideways. Let's remove all the noise around it. Here's your web pages. The iPad mini is 2/3 larger to surf the web. There is a gigantic difference in these products. And it doesn't stop there. There's all those third-party applications. As Tim told you, we have these amazing applications for iPad users. And we've learned, we have over 700,000 applications that can run an iPad, but customers love the ones written for iPad, designed for that screen. Over 275,000 of them. What does the other platform have? They have phone applications stretched up, not tablet applications. So for example, if you like to hang with your friends in Yelp, you get a great experience on iPad mini, you get a scaled-up phone experience on that other product. There's a big difference. If you like to shop on eBay, a huge difference between what you can do on an iPad and on these other products. If you like to listen to music in Pandora, the differences are night and day. If you like to go search for videos to watch in Vimeo, a great experience, not great experience. If you like to plan your trip on TripAdvisor.
Note how he can't even say YouTube, by the way.
That's a little...
Well, you know, right?
Because of the big, huge fight with Google.
We'll talk more about this comparison. We'll let him finish it out.
Yeah.
We'll let him finish it out.
So let's talk a little bit more about what's inside iPad mini. It is a great iPad. In fact, the technologies inside are equal to or better than the iPad 2 in every way. There's an amazing set of technology that make this just a great iPad. First, there's an Apple A5 chip, a dual-core A5 chip that has more than enough power to drive this incredible mini display and give you great performance for all your applications and games. It has a FaceTime camera now better than what we had in iPad 2, a FaceTime HD front-side camera. An even bigger difference on the camera on the back side, a 5-megapixel iSight camera, so you can take beautiful 5-megapixel photos or 1080p HD video. That's far in advance of what we had on iPad 2. The wireless has advanced greatly too. It has the same LTE capabilities that you see in our new 4th generation iPad, LTE wireless. We have the faster Wi-Fi as well, 802.11 A, B, G, N, and N at 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, so twice as fast Wi-Fi. We've built in that Lightning connector, so it's compatible with the accessories being created for iPhone 5, the 4th generation iPad, iPod Touch, and iPod Nano. And all of this technology, all this incredible capability in such a thin and light device, the team has worked really hard to get you the same battery life, 10 hours of battery life, just like the 4th generation iPad. So hopefully...
But yeah, we'll still show this video while we talk about things also, right? The iPad mini is using the A5 chip.
Yeah.
The new iPad is using the A6X chip. I mean, I'm shocked about what they threw in that 4th one. It's horrible.
And kind of buried it.
It's horrible.
Just
I can't
like-
even. I'm just like, I want to say other things that I can't say right now.
Yeah.
But I have to also say, like, they're upstaging that announcement with this iPad mini. Like, they're kind of throwing it in there just for whatever their reasoning is for updating the iPad. Lightning, I guess, but they didn't have to do it. Like, they did not have to come out with another full-size iPad right now.
Or they could have announced the full-size iPad at the iPhone 5 announcement, which was just a few weeks ago. Like, clearly it was ready.
Yeah.
You know? You could have done it then and made it a whole upgrade announcement. I mean, I just think to do it in the same calendar year, to do it 6 months later is...
6 months is brutal.
That's a diss.
6 months is brutal. I mean, anyone, whether you're...
And to me, it's overshadowed the mini announcement, actually.
Yeah.
I'm on the opposite.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, I couldn't even think about them. When they first started talking about the mini, I was like, all I can think about is that new iPad. Like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know.
All right.
Here's the
Anyways,
next-
you guys, you got the hashtag CNET Live. Tell us what your thoughts are on what you've seen with the iPads. We'll
Yeah.
read some of them because maybe you guys feel the same way. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are excited about it. I do think the iPad mini is pretty cool. I mean, it's what we expected to see in another instance where the leaks and shots and specs are literally everything that was released right on the money
And-
for a second event.
And we did try to warn you all throughout in the pre-show that this was not going to be a super premium product. You know, that it wasn't going to have a Retina display. The screen resolution is disappointing, but I doubt that will be the only disappointment. This has to be cheaper, and so it's going to have to make some compromises.
We'll see.
And we'll
Yeah.
see.
I'm very curious about where they're going to price this.
I know, we're all just like, okay, come on, seriously.
Well, they were holding it right at... If they're holding it up to the Nexus 7, I would have to think that they're going to compete on price.
At $199?
Yeah, but if they do that, then where does that leave the iPod Touch at? Like,
Exactly.
oh,
And also, I disagree with their size. I think 7 inches is the right size for a mid-size tablet. I really do. I think that 8 inches is a little too big. It's not enough of a differentiator between that and a 10-inch in terms of portability.
Well, yeah, I think it's kind of a push.
Make a product that is incredibly thin and light and has absolutely remarkable levels.
Oh, and yes, by the way, in that ad, they did say it's going to get a redesigned smart cover.
Is an
Thank goodness.
extraordinary iPad.
Someone asked about
One
new
that
smart
we
covers.
use
Just no
in
keys on it, so.
So many
Right.
different places, in so many different ways.
Right.
all right.
See what pricing coming up next, guys.
The iPad mini is every inch an iPad. As you saw, it comes with a great line of accessories, including these optional smart covers that come in blue, green, pink, light gray, dark gray, and even a great product red one as well. They're smart, so they work with the software intelligently, and they're great to use in every angle. And they really complement this incredible new iPad mini. The iPad mini starts with a full 16 gigabytes of memory. And the Wi-Fi configuration will be priced at $329.
$329, just like we talked about.
Well, then you know what? Don't bring the Nexus 7 up and compare it to that. That's BS.
That is the lowest price yet for an iPad, helping us to reach even more customers. So this is the iPad lineup. iPad mini.